Hi, welcome to Jackpots and Hotspots, Las Vegas travel tips and news video podcast. Whether you're planning a trip or just missing being there, this is our place to talk about all things Vegas. All right, so let's start today by talking about attractions and things to do. We started talking about things to do over the holidays. Cosmopolitan has ice skating. There are a whole bunch of things to do over the holiday season in Las Vegas, and I love finding holiday fun to do when we travel, so that's always a really interesting one. There is a link I'll put in the description below. The Las Vegas Review-Journal has a great article on dates to know for Las Vegas holiday attractions, so I'll put a link to that article in the description below. You could see what's going on if you're planning a trip over the next few holiday months, see if there's anything fun that you can catch while you're there. Definitely worthwhile if that's something you can plan into your Vegas vacation this holiday season. There is this new thing apparently called the Underground Donut Tour. So apparently that's a thing. It's like a nationwide thing, and they've added Las Vegas to their rounds or to their locations where they do these underground donut tours. So it takes place downtown in Fremont, and they take you on these tours of different donut places. It actually sounds really cool. There's a website if you want to get more information, undergrounddonuttour.com. And again, I'll put the link to that website, specifically the Vegas stuff, in the description below. And because we love family-friendly Vegas events, there's a Water Lantern Festival going on this weekend. So if anybody happens to be going there this weekend, that sounds really special and kind of cool. So there's always some little gems that you can find, things you can do out of the ordinary when planning your trip. So it's definitely worth checking out lists like that, events like these, and seeing if there's something you can incorporate in your trip. Looking at resort and casino news, as we know, the Hard Rock is still set to take over the Mirage in December 2022, so that is the time of filming next month. And the volcano is still going on, no plans to tear that down, so that's good news. The dolphins and tigers, though, have been shut down, I think, since September. So those are done. They have closed that down. The Mirage Secret Garden and Dolphin Habitat is closed down, but they do still have the volcano going, and that's there for us to enjoy. As you may know, they just had the Formula One Las Vegas Grand Prix race, which is a big deal. Apparently, I'm not a big car person, so I don't know much about this, but I've seen a lot of news for next year. And next year's plans, packages, luxury stays, things like that coming out. Sounds like this event is going to be in November again next year, and it is a 50-lap race at night. I have to check my notes because I really have no idea. It's a 50-lap race at night. It's a almost 4-mile track in and around the Strip, which is pretty cool. And again, it's already being called the most expensive Vegas event for 2023. So there's all kinds of really cool packages. I'm sure if you start Googling it and going to different resort websites, you can find that information. The Wynn has a $1 million package. That sounds kind of very interesting. They're calling it obviously a once-in-a-lifetime luxury experience. I don't really know what makes it luxury, but it's all access, and I'm sure it'll be something amazing, hopefully worth the $1 million price tag. The Bellagio has also put out details that there's a special package that they're doing. I guess they're putting a grandstand over the Bellagio lake, and so you get this MGM package, and it includes seats in that stand over the lake, so that's kind of cool. A cool place to sit and watch the race. Again, not a big car person, so I don't really know much about this, but it's fun to see what kind of cool packages they're already coming out with for next year. It's always fun to look at these extravagant and huge things that can go on. And then, of course, for the regular person, there's plenty of options out there as well. But just know if that is something you're interested in checking out, sounds like all the 2023 stuff is starting to come out now. Esports awards are coming up at Resorts World in December. So again, I don't know much about that, but I'm a big supporter of esports. I think it's a really cool thing, and I think there's a lot of opportunity there. So that's kind of cool that that's happening at Resorts World in December. There have been talks about building a high-speed railway from Southern California to Vegas. I believe it would be from LA to Vegas, LA to Vegas, Vegas to LA, and then there'd be all these stops in between, which sounds pretty cool. So if that does actually begin construction, they're looking at hopefully maybe beginning that in 2023. So that's a pretty cool development. We'll see about that. It's estimated to cost $8 billion. Yes, $8 billion. Maybe I should say that a little slower because that's a lot of money. And then again with multiple stops, which is kind of cool. If you're watching this within a few days of it being posted, you know it is Thanksgiving time. So if you are spending Thanksgiving in Vegas, there's so much to do. There are so many things to do. So you've probably already made your plans. You probably already have plans, but it's still cool to know what all's going on, maybe for another time, or if you find yourself maybe planning a last minute trip or just still needing to finalize your plans, there's a ton of stuff going on. Just be prepared, obviously, to make reservations, check it all out, but there's probably something really cool you could do for that day. I really want to spend a holiday in Vegas sometime, so big fan of stuff like this. I think it's a great idea. Apparently the Golden Tiki, let's see, a tiki bar, it's in Chinatown. They do a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. So this is something that they've done before, but yeah, it's called a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. If you're familiar with the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special, it's based off of that. I don't want to give too much away, so if you've seen that, you know kind of what kind of meal they make in that special. I guess that's what they do at this thing. So it sounds really cool. It is 21 and up though, so don't let the fact that it's Charlie Brown fool you into it being family friendly. It is at a bar, it is 21 and up, but they have this kind of hodgepodge meal based off of Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special. So that sounds pretty fun if you need something to do that day. Gold Spike, if you are a millennial like me, you probably know and love Gold Spike. It's a fun spot. They have a turkey bowling thing going on called Turnt Giving. I feel stupid even saying that. I don't think I can pull that off. Anyway, it's our 7th annual Turnt Giving, and you can win like free drinks, stuff like that. They make donations to Catholic charities. Starts Wednesday night, so then Thanksgiving Eve at 10 p.m., which is past my bedtime. But they have local DJs, free admission, so it sounds like a really fun time. You can check out their website for more details. There's just lots of off-strip, on-strip choices, things to do. Like I said before, just anything you want to plan on doing, make sure you make reservations ahead of time. So I don't gamble. Those of us here at Jackpots and Hotspots none of us really gamble. We don't claim to know a lot about gambling. I definitely don't claim to be an expert on anything related to gambling. But sometimes there's a tidbit of news that catches our interest that we feel is worth chatting about. In Colorado and Wyoming, as of, I think this week, you can now place bets on mini golf. So if that is interesting to you, Colorado and Wyoming, you can do that there now. There is indeed a U.S. Pro Mini Golf Association. So that is kind of cool. I love those kind of off the path, not your typical kinds of sports and things like that. So I think that's awesome. Okay, let's talk about performances. Music, comedy, all the stuff and things that we love to do in Vegas. I'm gonna just kind of go through my random hodgepodge list of stuff. Adele's Las Vegas residency finally starts this weekend at Caesar's Palace. So I know we all remember that fiasco, that debacle of when it got canceled at the last minute. So it is supposed to be starting this weekend right now. So that's exciting. Good for her and her fans. Hopefully everyone can go have a good time at that. Aerosmith is this weekend at Park MGM. Stone Temple Pilots on Fremont Street this weekend. And as most Fremont Street Experience things, it's free, so that's pretty cool. John Fogerty, I don't even sound normal saying that, sorry, I'm obviously millennial. This weekend, he is at the Encore Theater at Wynn. In the world of comedy this weekend, we've got Amy Schumer at Resorts World. Kevin Hart is at Resorts World this weekend. He is filming his new special one of the nights. I think I've heard it's Saturday night. That's pretty cool. Joe Coy is at T-Mobile Arena again this weekend as well. Lots of good quality music and comedy already just this weekend alone. And it's the weekend before Thanksgiving right now. Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club has reopened. It's right there on the Lake Promenade. They closed down for COVID. They're finally reopening. In performances coming up this week, Garth Brooks announced his new residency at Caesars called Garth Brooks +1. ultimately May through December of 2023, but it'll be only in certain months. So check the schedule. I always say, check that out. His wife is Trisha Yearwood. I'm a Midwesterner, but I don't know a lot about, I know just enough about country music to get by. And there's rumors that she might appear at a show. I guess that's a thing, and that's been really popular. So here in the Midwest, everyone loves Garth Brooks, as they do everywhere. So that's pretty cool. That'd be a fun thing to go to for sure. More upcoming music performances. At Resorts World alone, we're going to see Katy Perry, Bryan, Celine Dion, all of these coming up. Some of them, I think it's Bryan, he's starting the end of this month, going into the spring. Katy Perry, I've heard she puts on an amazing Vegas show. There's just a lot of good stuff seems to be happening at Resorts World, so that's kind of exciting. That would be a fun one to go check out since it's so new. And there's probably so many more things that I haven't even uncovered yet for you guys, but again, just check it out. A little tip, one of my favorite ways to research upcoming shows, whether it's all formats, music, comedy, whatever else in between, there's two things. One, you can check a site like vegas.com and just put in your range of dates. Maybe you already have a trip plan, you just want to see what's going on, or you have a date range in mind. You can catch maybe those one-time shows or a residency you weren't aware of. That's always a good kind of go-to. But my other tip is go directly to a venue website. So like the Resorts World website or the Caesars Palace website. Go directly to their website and then go to the venue page, right? The Coliseum at Caesars or whatever it might be, Planet Hollywood, Zappos Theater, and scan all their calendar dates. It's especially helpful to see what's coming up, what you may have missed in the news. You may not know who's scheduled to have a residency somewhere. You might be filming a special somewhere. And that is especially helpful if you're looking for DJs, day clubs, things like that. It's really good to find the ones that you will be most excited about, the big names, even the not so big names, but the ones that are kind of hidden gems or may not be out in the news as much. It's a really good way to just kind of find what you might be looking for. So I think go directly to the venue website, just scan all their calendar dates, and it's especially helpful to see what's coming up that you may have missed in the news or you just may not be aware of. There might be somebody you really want to see. This is especially helpful for things like DJs and day clubs, things like that. That's my number one tip to find. You just go to each venue website, scan it, and check out their full calendar as far out as they're booked. See who else is scheduled to perform. That's my number one tip for finding good shows. Okay, so I think I'm going to start a new series called New Year's Eve 2022-2023. Obviously, New Year's Eve is coming up. A lot of people are going to Vegas, want to know what's going on. Obviously, if you've already planned your trip, hopefully you're already making plans for that night. But it's also fun to see kind of what is out there. So, I won't have an exhaustive list, but I'm going to continue to kind of research and mention things as they come up. So we'll see how that goes. But that way we can all kind of stay up to date, see what's going on. New Year's Eve, so far, what I've heard about is Kevin Hart will be at Resorts World. Pitbull will be at Resorts World. Chainsmokers will be at XS, as they often are. Millennium will be at Hakkasan. And then Fremont Street Experience will have a thing. Let me check my notes on this. It's going to be a bunch of live performances. Sugar Ray, DJ Scribble, The Wailers, a whole bunch. $50. It is the official party of the city of Las Vegas for New Year's Eve. And there'll be a countdown, digital fireworks show on of course, the canopy screen, and multiple stages with, sounds like pretty good entertainment. Sounds good to me. I don't know what you guys like. Check out the whole list online. And then there's more to come. There's others I've heard of, so I just haven't made a full list yet. Plaza has a fireworks show every year. That's cool. In other Vegas news, for those of us who are bargain shoppers, there's a Goodwill store opening near the Strip, which is kind of cool. So if you need some last minute things or you get stranded, you can check out that new Goodwill that is opening near the Strip in case you are in need of stuff. It's called A Little White Wedding Chapel, has been sold. It's that iconic wedding chapel that you see in TV and movies. It has been there since the 50s, I believe. The owner, her name is Charlotte Richards. She owned it for a very long time. She sold it And it is still going to be a wedding chapel, so that's exciting. But this is the iconic little white wedding chapel that you see on TV that we all have seen at some point. And they also have the drive-through weddings. So those drive-through weddings you hear about too, that's where those happen. It's a piece of Vegas history that has had a change, but hopefully will still be there and still be mostly the same. On a final note, according to economic outlooks from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, visitation is supposed to level out, or projected to level out, in 2023. So I say let's all do our part to prove them wrong and plan our Vegas trips for 2023 and make it just as epic as every other year. So let's help keep those numbers steady and rising, so they don't go down. But they are expecting it to level out. So we'll see how all our budgets look, and let's just all promise each other to plan as many trips as possible right now. I mean, as soon as we can. That sound good? I'll see you there.